That is not a good start to the podcast. Oh dear.
It's when things go serious, I'm like, we're already counting down far, and I'm like, fuck.
It was counting down for a big intro, and
Yeah, I know. And then we just started laughing instead. So that was.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Oh my god. Yeah. Episode number 36. Are we on?
Yeah. The last episode we did was the post-universe catch-up.
Fuck off. Was it really?
Yeah. No, I was just looking at the episodes, just reading them to know what number we're on.
What?
Yeah, the last one we did was released on the 23rd of June, and it was, well, it's over a month ago that we did the last one, because we've both been on holiday since we recorded the last one.
Fucking hell, yeah. I went on holiday on the 7th of July.
Yeah.
Well, if there's any listeners left,
if anyone cares about us anymore,
absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's what we was thinking.
Summer break.
It's because, to be fair, we would have been out a week earlier, but I'm going to blame Leah for this one because we organised it when I was on the road. I was driving one night, and I said, "I'm sorry for pointing at you, by the way." I said, "Just make sure you message me on Monday when I'm back, because I'll fucking write it down because I've got my organisation board downstairs."
Yeah.
And then you messaged me Thursday, didn't you? Ready for the podcast? I was like, "What?"
To be fair, I completely missed the part where you were like, "Message me on Monday."
Yeah, it was my mum's birthday, so we was out anyway. So we could have. Anyway, we're here now. We're back. Good morning. Good afternoon. Hello. 7 o'clock at night. It's not even the morning. Come on.
Dan's ready for bed.
I am. I'm winding down. I'm chilled out. If I fall to sleep halfway out, just throw some out of the screen and I'll wake back up. It's been a long day. Oh dear. Right, I'm going bland as well because Leah sent me all these questions about 12 hours ago and I've not read one of them because I've been rushing around like a maniac all day.
Yeah.
So you're going to get my definite honest opinion. I do this a lot anyway, to be fair. I don't often read them, do I?
No,
I just say,
feel
yeah,
like you're always just like, throw them at me, see what happens.
Yeah, just tell me the questions and I'll just tell you what comes into my head.
So these questions we put on a Q&A in June, basically, for this Q&A. And we got like nearly 20 questions, which is pretty good going. And we never got round to filming the questions because we were going to do it in another podcast, and we're just
useless. Since we've started doing it at home and not organising to meet up at the podcast studio, we're just loose cannons now.
No, but we're going to be organised after this.
We definitely are.
After this, we're going to put the next episode in the diary, so we're on time.
Yeah. After this beer, I'm going to stop drinking.
All right.
I'm not drunk, by the way. That was a metaphor. It was a metaphor.
I know. Right. Should we get stuck in? Or
we might as well.
Updates?
We might as well.
Okay. No updates. We'll do an update on the next episode.
Yeah. Nobody cares about us.
Oh, okay. Right. Question 1. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. Are you ready?
Yeah. Born ready, me.
Bumroll. If you went to bodybuild...
Bumroll? Why are you shouting bumroll?
I said drumroll.
Oh. I thought you called me a bumroll. I thought, what the fuck sort of insult's that? I thought you went bumroll and then started asking.
I might start calling you a bumroll from now.
Now then, you bumroll.
I quite like that.
Oh, freaking hell.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Right, okay, we'll start again.
Drum roll,
okay. Drum roll from the Bumroll. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was just seeing if you'd heard the question or not.
No, I was thinking about what you said to me. I was
got distracted by the Bumroll.
Right, back to the question, Bumroll.
If you went to bodybuild or coach, what else would you do career-wise?
Oh God, you go. I think I've probably answered this loads of times. I don't know. I just make some up as I go along. I feel like I just fall into situations and environments where I spot money-making opportunities, and I would just be falling into something like that. I was a builder one night before this.
Yeah.
And I fucked that off ages ago. That was hard, that. But saying that, to be fair, I only fucked it off because I was bodybuilding, and it was hard as fuck when I was bodybuilding. So I'd have probably carried on doing it, and I would probably have my own building firm or something if I had continued it. But As we spoke about in many podcasts ago, property investment was quite a big
Yeah,
thing, and property redevelopment and things like that. What I was doing, currently doing a bit of that now as well, but more like just working alongside a builder that's doing it. And
yeah,
I'm in a different stance this time, but we're making money doing that at the minute. So probably something to do with that. I kind of like watching, like building stuff, watching stuff come
yeah.
together, like the projects coming on, and it's quite high stress at times as well, and organising people and this and that and all the rest of it. I quite enjoy those sort of environments, which is probably why I like coaching, because it's, especially contest coaching, because it's fucking manic in it at
Yeah.
times, and quite a lot of stress and pressure and all the rest of it comes with that, which kind of I like thriving under. Otherwise, I'm a little bit bored.
Something where you're like being challenged and you're not just like taking over.
Yeah, yeah, I can't take over. I go mental.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
go
that
mental.
too.
I like to think I want to though. I always like to be
Yeah,
like, oh, I just want to, and then as soon as I start chilling out, 15 minutes later, I'm like,
this is literally me. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll rein my coaching in a bit, and I'll kind of, sit
yeah,
at a lower client number and
tick
etc.
along.
And then I do it for 10 minutes. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, yeah. Need something to do. Need something to
Yeah.
do.
I don't know what I do. I feel like because I kind of went into coaching like straight out of uni, I've never
What?
really like
I
thought about
nearly asked you this before. What was your degree at uni? What did you do?
sport and exercise science.
I thought it was that. Yeah,
Yeah, so I got into that because I was like competitively swimming through my teen
yeah, yeah,
years basically. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I thought, oh, I'll go and do that because I was like good at like biology at school and science. And I thought, oh, it's kind of like related to it's related to that. Because I always wanted to go to like Loughborough Uni and like do swimming at Loughborough and be on that team. And then I kind of like tapered off swimming a bit as I got towards like 18. So
yeah.
I ended up not doing that. But I feel like I'd still have done something like relevant. Like I always think it would be really cool to do something around like nutrition or like something down that. But I guess that's kind of similar to coaching, isn't
I'm
it?
not sure we can say that's different to coaching, Leo, when it's the
Mm,
same thing.
yeah.
I'll tell you what I would do if I wasn't doing coaching. I'd
What?
do telling people what to eat and what to train.
Basically, that's literally what I just said.
Yeah, yeah, that's basically what he did. Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what else I do. I really don't know. When I was younger, I used to want to be a doctor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to have one of them little like plastic trolleys, you know what kids have where they like push round and they have all the little like stethoscopes and stuff on them.
There's a lot around like alternative medicine type treatment stuff like that. There's a lot of that coming about now, isn't there? Because I think a lot of people are
Yeah,
becoming wise to the fact that standard Western medicine is not necessarily the
yeah,
correct way to move forward with illnesses and bits and pieces like that. So you'd maybe move into something like that, maybe something a little
yeah.
bit
I
more
think I'd still do.
wholesome.
Yeah, I think I'd still do something like health related in some way, whether it was like I don't know something to do with health or
Yeah,
something down that route, or like psychology, or just something around that sort of area. I think.
yeah. It's funny you say that because that's not really my interest, even though I do coaching.
Yeah,
I think I like just watching stuff be built. Do you know,
yeah,
like whether it's a physique? So you're
yeah,
watching like boom, 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 and the
yeah,
progress, and then let the goods compete. And the same with building stuff. I like watching everything come together and stuff get
yeah,
knocked down and put back together. I think that's actually what stimulates me over the actual health and nutrition side of it and all the rest of it. It's just love watching that. I do love watching that. To be fair,
yeah.
love watching people start off, build some muscle, get lean, go and compete, go through the full process. It's like a
Yeah,
full cycle of processing it. So I think
yeah,
I think I actually like that more than the other side of it. You know what I mean?
yeah, like the health side. Yeah, I think for me, it's like I think I really enjoy like this sounds really like cliche, but I just really enjoy helping people. Like, I feel like I get a buzz off it. So when I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
get that.
help someone, whether it's like the relationship with food or whether it's something to do with like the hormone health, I just feel like that gives me like a little buzz. So I feel like if I was
Yeah,
doing something
bit of a kick.
where I was helping someone, I feel like I'd still be quite happy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same, but just through the angle of getting
Yeah,
to where the goals are at, as
yeah,
opposed
yeah,
to anything else.
yeah.
Okay, that's that one rattled off. Phew.
Anyway, okay, this is a different one. Benefits of cutting out gluten and or dairy. I don't have an intolerance that I'm aware of, but have been seeing a lot about cutting it out recently.
Yeah, it is very popular at the minute because there seems to be like a, is it epidemic the right word? I don't know. There seems to
Yeah,
be a fuckload of people coming back with antibodies, thyroid antibodies through the roof.
yeah,
Um, I'm seeing it a lot since, because I mean the standard blood work didn't always have that added in. I've got my own blood. I told you I got my own blood test made. Did I tell you that?
Yes, yeah, you did.
Yeah. So basically, it's just a normal female's one, but it's got some of the antibodies and different bits and pieces added on because it seems to be causing a few issues. And I'm seeing a lot of it. I'm seeing a lot of it on social media,
Yeah.
and it just seems really common. I think gluten, especially. Allegedly, they say, attacks the thyroid and sort of sets off antibodies and stuff like that, and cutting it out. And to be fair, with the clients that I've done it with, that I've cut out gluten and dairy, I've seen their antibodies drop in half or more, um, in the thyroid, well, in the blood work, but
Yeah.
within the thyroid. So it does work. Even my Mrs. Becky, the same thing.
Yeah.
Her antibodies were up there a little bit. Did gluten free for. She didn't do the dairy free. She just did the gluten free for I think it was 3 months, and then come back and her antibodies was in half to where they was.
Right. Interesting.
So,
Because a
but
lot of
yeah,
humans do struggle in like the research and stuff. A lot of humans do struggle digesting dairy generally, and like utilizing it. And it was interesting because I went on like a call to like look into one of my clients' bloods and see what was going on. It was like a hormone type thing, and I found out that the cell structure for gluten is really similar to like lactose. So that's why a
yeah,
lot of people who are
people struggle with
intolerant
it.
to
I
one
think
also struggle with the other.
I think it probably shouldn't be in our body as much as people think it should. Do you know what I mean? I think even if you're not sure, when you cut it out, you do feel a lot better. Even if you don't feel any symptoms from it or problems from it, when you actually cut it out, you do feel a hell of a lot
Right.
better. Like you noticeably feel better. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm not telling everybody to stop eating bread or anything like that. Far from it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
up to them in it, but um, yeah, it is not. The way I was eating recently until I fucking went
I was
all
going to
in.
ask you about this actually. And did you?
Yeah,
Because you went
yeah,
very
because
like whole
obviously
food
I was just
based,
doing
didn't
pretty much like meat, fatty meats, or fish and fruit one eye.
you?
So I was doing no gluten whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then I felt the best. To be
Yeah.
honest, I felt the best I've ever felt in my life. To be honest, possibly not from a sports perspective of like I would be nowhere near as
Yeah.
powerful as I would have been when I was eating all the carbs and everything, but like
Like
just in
brain function
myself,
and stuff.
mentally, physically, I felt in myself way better. And then say if I'd have had a cheat meal on a Sunday, which I normally do, and I'd say I chose pizza, fucking felt like
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, for like the good next 24 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Just
yeah,
think of that though as well. It's like obviously if you look at cutting out like gluten and dairy or bringing it right down, like your diet is basically going to be like all whole food based, isn't it? So very like protein,
yeah.
veg, fruit. So if you think like as well, it's going to probably improve the quality of your diet loads as well.
In general, yeah. I think just go off how you feel, man.
Yeah,
Like instead of like this person said that and that person said this and this person got tested on that and this and that, just try it and see how you
yeah,
feel. And if you
yeah,
feel class, you've got your answer, haven't you? And if
yeah,
you want to trade off feeling class for feeling not as good because you love bread, that's up to you, innit? Do what you
yeah,
want.
yeah. I agree. I don't think there's like a right
It's
or
not
wrong.
that deep,
Like,
is it? It's
no,
not
you
that
need to
deep.
cut it out
Do
or you
what
need to have it.
Yeah, do whatever you bastard want, or just bring it right down and just have it now and again, or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I always talk about the way I've changed to eating of recently over the last year or so, and but it's not a religion. Do you know what I mean? People say, "Oh, well, you eat this and that," and I'm like, "Yeah, sometimes, whatever," but I'm not religiously tied to it. It's just that's just generally how I eat overall through the week because I feel better like that, and
yeah,
that's the top and bottom of it. People say, "Are you doing it for this? Are you doing it for that?" No, I just feel better this way. Do you
yeah.
know what I mean?
And then
I
if you
feel.
want to have like a meal out on occasion, you will or whatever.
Yeah,
And
I'll do that every week if we have a go out or if we have takeaway in or
yeah,
if Becky makes some or whatever. Yeah, I'll do that every week because
yeah,
I like that to have something to look forward to. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, 100%.
yeah, it's not that deep.
Yeah. Okay. Fab. Okay, so this one is about competitors. So, would most bikini athletes be on some kind of assistance these days?
If they
Thoughts?
need it. If they need it, I suppose if you was going to generalise and look at the whole bodybuilding scene of all bikini girls, I'd say yes. There's going to be more on it than not,
Yeah.
and whether that's assistance of fat burners to compete, clenbuterol or T3 or something like that, or if they're using a bit of Anavar or Austrian or whatever they decide to use, whatever it might be, as a little bit of a, do you know what I mean? Make you a bit harder, fill you out a bit,
Yeah.
or steroid or whatever. Then yeah, probably I'd say more. maybe are than aren't.
Yeah.
But then you look at, look at Catherine, who I had up the other week, who I was
Yeah.
just talking about earlier on.
Yeah.
You'd think she's on steroids looking at her, to be fair. She's fucking jacked, and she got
Yeah.
really lean and shredded, won all of her shows. Um, she's not touched a thing. She's 100% natural for life. Do you know what I mean? She's just done all the
Yeah.
natural competitions. So it's whatever you need and whatever you want and whatever your patience, whatever your level of patience is as well.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of good natural bikini girls, really good, and a few of them 10 pro with a PCA. Do you know what I mean? So I'm definitely not shy in having them.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm probably trying to say is you don't have to have it to do well,
But a
as
lot
long
of
as you,
people are on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
as long as you've got the right genetics. Do you know what I mean? And if not, you just take your time a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. But like, you still have loads of client like bikini girls, well, amphi girls that are like natural and look very, very good. Like, you wouldn't look at them and be like, yeah, they're like natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, not everyone's got the same genetics, have they? So not everyone can do that. But even
Everyone's
then,
got blessed genetics.
no, whose genetics are blessed.
Blessed.
Blessed, yeah. And the people who don't have it to look like that won't look as good as the people that are on steroids when they take steroids because
Mm.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the people who are better genetics, it's a genetic game in it,
I get
bodybuilding.
what you
Like,
mean. I get what you mean. Um. Okay, this is a coaching related one.
oh,
Other than not being 100% honest during a check-in, what's your biggest client pet peeve? I feel like I need to think about this for a minute.
other than not being honest, what's my
Other
pet
than not
peeve?
being 100% honest during a check-in, what's your biggest client pet peeve?
Oh, I could have done with this one before to think about this one.
You were
I
like,
don't.
don't tell me them before. I want it to be a surprise.
Yeah, well, you sent me them. I didn't read them, did I? But
I did send them you.
that's what I'm saying. You sent me them, but I didn't read them. That's what I said. Bumroll. That's what I'm just going to call you every time now. I don't. I'm not that triggered by much, to be honest.
I feel like I'm quite a calm person. Like, I don't ever really get like angry or irritated very easily at all.
Yeah, I think.
I think mine, I've got one. I think mine would be when, well, this doesn't really happen very often at all. When a client is like not bothered, you know, when they just you get the vibe where you just feel like they can't be
Yeah,
bothered or like they're not putting in effort. I think that because like, you know, if you can see like someone's potential or what they could achieve, but then
yeah,
you feel like they're not really showing up properly for themselves and like they're capable of more. I think that for me, I'm a
yeah,
bit like, come on, like if you just kind of put a bit
yeah.
more effort in, you do well here.
I've got one actually. I've got one. I think it's when people want to do their own plan and their own training, but then you say you coach them. Do you get what I mean? So
Yeah,
some
and
people will
you
be like,
tell me
"Well,
about like
this is how I want all my meals to be set out. This is what I want on the meals. This is what I would normally eat at these times. So I want all that, and then this is how I train. So I want my training to be like this." But then I'm like, "Well, what am I doing?"
so they're basically telling you what you need to plan.
Yeah, to tell you what they want the plan to be and what they want to do, and then ask you to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's
What do I do with
so
that?
I just say, well, that's not going to happen. So you've got two choices: you either stay or leave. But I'm obviously not going to do your plan. I'm going to do my plan.
Yeah,
If you've got some requests, I can accommodate some requests with definite.
yeah,
Like certain things, foods you'd love to see in there,
yeah.
obviously. Certain exercises that you might love, and this and that. But apart from that, there's no point in you coaching yourself and then telling me to give you feedback on it each week. What's the point in that?
Here's my plan, but can you
Yeah,
please
here's my
tell me
plan.
what to
Here's everything, and I'm like, fucking hell. That's not very often that happens, but it has happened once or twice.
do?
Generally leading to parting ways, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, thoughts on Ozempic or Manjaro on prep?
Not for me. Not for me.
Have
I
you had
think
any clients on it or had any clients that have taken it? Just out of interest.
no,
I've got a few at the minute.
nobody that's told me. It just seems to be definitely sweeping the nation.
Mm,
There's a new one that seems to be. I don't. To be honest, I know enough about it to know it's not going to be great for bodybuilding. Some people I know are using it on reverses,
mm.
but obviously, generally, it's. I would think it's going to make people look worse on a
Yeah,
prep
I think the
because it
thing with
doesn't
it is,
just stop the cravings; it slows everything down. It's meant to be catabolic. I'm not sure how correct
yeah,
that is, but that's what people have said. There's a new one called, is it Rituatrad or something like that? Have you seen that one?
I've vaguely seen bits of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one and I was reading. I don't know everything about it, but it said that it kills all cravings, but not just cravings for food, all cravings. So gambling,
Right.
sex, computer games. So it's like a dopamine killer, I think. And I just remember thinking, dopamine's like that's your driving force
Yeah.
in life, not just for the things that lead you to bad things, but the things that lead you to good things.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good I don't know, but I wouldn't put anybody on it. People have asked me to come on it after a reverse, and I've said no.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because you don't know. Do you know what I mean? Things need to
Yeah.
be around for a long time before we can give them the nod. There's something new every year, isn't there? Come on. There's a new fucking peptide, or there's a new drug that everyone's found out about, or there's a new this, and that's happened every single year since I've been doing this for 15 years. How many drugs are different to
Yeah.
what there was 15 years ago?
Yeah. 100%. I
Fucking
think
none.
I think as well in a prep scenario, like because there's with like some of those, for example, like the injections, like you lose muscle mass on it as well. Like I've had a handful of clients who have been like more heavily overweight that have taken it, that have come to me already on it basically,
Yeah,
and I've coached them, and they end up in a position where, because they're
stuck
not
on it.
really weight training and then they're taking these drugs, they're just losing body fat very quickly, and they end up like actually not like looking how they want, because then they're also losing muscle mass. So
Yeah,
then I have to basically work on, obviously what they come to me for is like working on the habits, because then they end up in a position where they've like come off it and they don't know what they're doing because they haven't put the work in with the lifestyle. So
yeah.
I've
A
got
lot of people are getting stuck on it.
yeah,
They're getting
and
stuck on it because as soon as they come off, boom.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
that's what it is.
Um, I don't disagree with it being used from a standpoint of that. Listen, if you're 25 stone
Yeah, I
and
agree.
you can't do, and you've tried and you've tried and you've tried, and for whatever reason, the way your brain's made up and all the rest of it, you can't. Let's not say you can't lose weight because that's bullshit, but you can't do what you need to do to lose
Yeah,
weight because you haven't got the mental capacity to do it. And it's a choice between being a big, massive fat bastard or taking that and being a more healthy range of life, then that's better in it. Do you know what I mean? But for bodybuilding purposes,
yeah,
um, you're a bodybuilder. Fucking suck it up, man. Do you know what I mean? But it's what you're a bodybuilder. You're meant to be the elite
yeah,
of general public walking around. You're meant to be that like 0.3% of people that are able to actually do it.
mm,
And then you're trying to, yeah, fuck that. Just
yeah, yeah. I think in the
get a
lifestyle
get a
scenario,
grip.
sometimes it can be helpful, but not in a bodybuilding scenario.
No, not in my opinion. Unless they change it all. I did see a thing the other week on YouTube. I think it was that Mikey Relati, and he reckons that they've invented some. I think it's some peptides or something where it's like it's going to be a mix of like that as MPEG with this like muscle building peptide.
Okay.
And basically the limiting factor that we have in our body. You seen them cows that are like massively muscular? You seen
Yeah, they're
that?
like hench cows.
Yeah, it's because they've got a gene deficiency, haven't they, where they're missing the gene that stops too much muscle growth occurring.
Yeah.
So there's a peptide that they're bringing out where they can do that, blunt and that. I can't remember what the name of it is now, but a myostatin inhibitor. So myostatin, I think, is the hormone that's released to stop you growing too much muscle. So I think they brought out a myostatin inhibitor with an Ozempic. So then you've got not a massive amount of appetite and you're limited, and then you don't have to eat that much food, but then you'll just grow muscle really easy. So then you'll be really muscular and really lean just through an injection.
Oh,
That's
that sounds
apparently
pretty
that's
good,
a
to be
pack. Yeah, all right, I could take that one. That's meant to be the next thing that's coming
fair.
along in the next few years, and he reckons it'll wipe out all steroids. How true that is, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I did. I took the clickbait and I watched it because I was curious. But I remember back in like 2012, there was these supposed myostatin inhibitors, not in the pharmaceutical place though, more like coming from
Yeah.
China. I tried all them. Everybody was trying them. This is what I mean. There's something new
There's
all
always
the
something
time. I remember doing that in 2012, thinking, yeah, my muscles are going to be unlimited, and I'm going to gain 5 stone of tissue in a year. Do you know what I mean? And all these things, and that didn't come off. But
new.
yeah, apparently that's meant to be the new thing anyway.
Yeah. Oh, mad.
Watch out for that.
Sorry, I'm just finding my question. Okay, right. How to deal with bodybuilding and prep when in the corporate world it can be tough. I feel like I know what your answer is going to be here, but go for it.
What do you
No,
think it's
just say
going to be?
say what you're going to say.
Now I think I need to say what you think I'm going to say, and I don't know
No,
what you
just
think
say.
I'm going to
I
say.
think you're gonna say like, "Get on with it, suck it up," or something like that.
To be fair, I was actually thinking I've never been in the corporate world, so it's actually quite difficult for me to answer.
Okay, okay, that's different from what I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah, I wasn't actually going to say that because, to be honest, these people that lead these, I've got some clients that live like
Yeah,
high pressure,
yeah,
big city, big money, fucking
amazing.
type jobs, big pressure. And I sometimes think, fucking hell, they're doing well here. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? I tell you, who was one of them, Monique.
I thought I was just thinking, isn't Monique
Yeah,
because she's
she's
got
a big
kids as well,
fish. Like,
right?
you what?
She's got like kids as well.
She's got 4 kids. And she runs like a high power corporate, fucking
Wow.
high pressure, fast paced, big city
Yeah,
like job and balances and both. And like, it's just, and she
yeah,
doesn't blink or care or complain or like, she's just nothing. She
she just
just does
gets
it. And
on.
I just, because I remember thinking, fucking hell, this woman, she's some woman, this woman. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And she just cracked on like that. But, hard for me to say, 'cause I've never lived in that lifestyle, but I just think where there's a will, there's a way. And if you're really fucking obsessed and game with something, you'll just make it work.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So preparation's always going to be the key. You can prep your food days in advance if you're going to be, you've got long days and stuff. Get into the gym where you can, but only this person who's asking this knows how they can make that fit.
yeah. And I do think as well, like I've got a few clients who are like in very high up like corporate jobs and work like a lot of hours. And I do think like it is it is harder. Like I do think it is because you're in a
Yeah,
position where you're probably having to get up at like 4 a.m. to go to the gym, and
yeah,
you're like you could be working till 9 o'clock at night, and then like you probably have to take all your stuff and all your meals with you to
yeah.
like
They
to
get
go
thrown
to the gym all
curveballs
day.
last minute.
Yeah, whereas like for people like for example people that work from home or maybe can nip in and out of the house and things like that, like obviously you don't have to, you can go to the gym in the day when you want to, like you can have breaks kind of as and when you need, you can make your food or you can whack your food in the microwave at home and do a bit of cooking if you need to. So I do think like in a corporate setting it is harder and it does require a bit more like
Planning.
planning, and you obviously can only train at certain times of the day, can't you? Like you're either in
Yeah,
there early or you're in there late.
yeah. And I'd always recommend going early because then
Yeah,
it's done. It's
yeah,
done for, and if you'd end up stuck at work till 10 o'clock,
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, 100%.
So I think get in there early, make sure all your food's prepped days in advance so you can
Yeah,
just grab it and go.
yeah,
And just if people keep offering you biscuits, tell them to piss off.
I agree.
That's the worst one, isn't it? Working in offices, like people
Yeah,
say, like they just constantly shoved food in the face.
yeah. You know what the worst one is? Like nurses. Like honestly, they send me some of the like stuff in the hospital, and I'm like, it's relentless.
What type of stuff?
Just like always, biscuits, cakes, someone
Oh, I
serves
know,
it.
yeah. It's
It's just
surprising, isn't
like
it? Yeah.
there all the time.
I've had quite a lot of nurses, but to be fair, none of them have ever like blinked at that. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
think they've probably been bodybuilding for a while before they've
yeah,
done
yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah,
they get dragged into surgery last minute and they're there
yeah,
hours longer and like there's all sorts of stuff. People are pretty tough, the things they get on with. Some
yeah,
some of the clients I've had and some of the check-ins I've read, I think, fucking hell, you know what I mean? And they just don't give a shit. They just crack on.
yeah. Mars.
You've
That's
gone
fine.
blurry. Have I gone blurry?
No, you're still crystal clear.
Oh, am I? I thought I'd faded away for a minute. You wish.
Am I back?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're back
Oh,
enough. Yeah, I just didn't think you could hear me.
I can still hear you. Okay, thoughts on super long preps. I've seen a lot of natural people have 24 to 30 weeks before their first show.
We were just on about this, weren't we? In a way,
Thoughts?
before we got on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with like diet breaks and like mini cuts and blah blah blah, all that kind of things.
Yeah, I think it depends on the person and what they need. If people are able to maintain a decent body comp, because generally what I'd prefer to do is, say you're competing in October,
Yeah,
I'd prefer to, if you're going from an off-season position, do a pre-prep,
yeah,
January and February, 6 to 8 weeks, whatever it might be. Take a bunch of the shit off,
yeah,
right? Get some of the work out the way, and then kind of reverse away from it steadily. Not looking to push up, but definitely looking to build the calories gently through the week so you're back at a decent level, not full off season level, but a decent level where you're kind of maintaining what you've lost. So you might take 6, 7 kilos off in that time, which is decent. Then you've got a bulk of the work, not a bulk of the work, but a chunk of the work done. And then obviously you go for the next 2 or 3 months just chilling,
Yeah.
building the food a little bit, keeping the weight off, not being a lunatic and putting it all back on. And then start the prep at a decent point where you start and not have a load to take off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas some people and women can be prone to it. It's just not, again, not everybody's the same. Not everybody's genetically cut out well. As soon as they come away from it and start backing the food up a little bit, they just start putting the weight back
Yeah.
on. So then you end up 3 months later starting the prep. You might as well have not bothered. Do you
Yeah.
get what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So then you're starting to prep at lower calories than you probably would have been starting at to try and get it back moving. You're just churning back through the bloody
Yeah.
half the weight you've just took off. Now this is up for a coach's experienced eye and knowing the client to decide which way this is going to go. So this is why in some instances doing a 25, 28 week prep, not a bad thing because you're doing what you would done, but just clamping it all together. But
Yeah.
then obviously as you get into the prep, what we would build in, and I do this sometime with naturals that don't hold lean body comp well. I'll just say, look, and obviously at these markers during the prep, we're going to take you out of a deficit, put you at maintenance, get rid of the cardio, get the steps down.
Yeah.
If we've been using any fat burners, get rid of them, and just let your body chill out for a bit and calm down. Sometimes even put a little off plan meal in there, maybe if I can trust them, and then fucking dive back in and do
Yeah.
the second half of the prep or do it in 3 blocks or whatever however you decide to plan it out with the person. It's got to be a little bit person dependent.
Yeah. I think
I don't
that's
think
gonna
there's
be it.
I don't think there's a set like do this, do that. Um, I prefer the mini cut
Yeah.
maintenance prep. I prefer that, but not everybody's cut out for that.
Yeah, and I guess it depends, like mentally, like where that person's head is at, and like some people like getting into prep mode and then just like going right, I'm in prep, that's it, don't they? Rather than like coming away and going back down, and
Yeah,
yeah, like you said, it's going to be dependent on. But I wouldn't say 24 weeks, 24 to 20, 25 weeks ish is like a super long
no, it's not.
prep.
It's not that long. I
No,
mean, obviously, you definitely do see longer. Well,
yeah,
some people, like again, dependent on the situation, I've took them from just literally just going full off season
yeah,
since the last prep and just staying there, never cutting at all because they're just not wanting to, and then going to a 28-week prep or a
yeah,
30-week prep once with somebody. But you have breaks put into
yeah,
it. Do you know what I mean? So you're
yeah,
not thinking. Do you know what I mean? They had a little off-plan meal in there and breaks, and they well, one of them was Nikita anyway. She won a pro card at the
yeah,
back. I think we ended up doing about 30 weeks. And she won a pro card at the end of it, but we had things planned in halfway through and all the rest of it.
yeah, yeah,
For it, do you know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. So it's just very person dependent, isn't it? Really, there's no like right or wrong way to do it.
Yeah, and just figuring out what type of client you've got
Yeah,
to do that.
yeah, definitely. Um, okay, so this is a long one. Would love your advice on dealing with comparison. I'm a tall girl and constantly compared to shorter people doing the same category as me. Some people just seem to grow like weeds, and it's hard when you're doing all the same thing and not growing as fast. Thanks.
So I'm assuming they're not bikini. If they're in figure and they're generally going to be against the same short of
I'm guessing
people.
so because if they were tall, they'd be in bikini top.
Yeah, I'm thinking like
If they were like similar height.
maybe tone
Right.
figure or something like that. Or when you get to the finals, you'll be split into different
Yeah,
heights, anyways. But it just takes longer. It just takes longer. Do you know what I mean? You're big. I mean, I'm 6 foot. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm pretty tall for a bodybuilder.
yeah,
It took longer.
yeah.
Unfortunately, that just is how it is. It's not that you're not making as much progress. You just can't see it as much
Mm,
because it takes longer to fill out. But when you do fill out, generally it looks better.
yeah. Yeah, because when you get someone on stage and they're like tall and they're like well muscled, like they look really impressive, don't they?
Yeah, it's nice if you've got the right length limbs and all the
Yeah,
rest of it. It looks good. Longer
not super long
torso.
arms.
I don't. I don't know anybody like that. I don't know
No,
anybody like
okay, okay.
that.
That's why my biceps don't look very good because my arms are too long.
Yeah, yeah. You got a 16-inch humerus.
Oh god, you know when you see, actually, you know what? I can relate to this girl because I feel like when I'm in the gym and I look at my arms and I think I look like I've never done a flipping bicep curl in my life, and then I look at someone,
With
that's got like
shorter
a
arms.
nice peaked bicep, and I'm like, well, I'm probably shorter arms than me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, their arms look like really nice and like
Yeah.
muscly, and my flipping biceps are just like flat on my arm. I feel like I can relate to
Uh,
this person.
but the answer is compared to people your own height.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with comparison, there's no point in comparing against a short girl because you're not short. If you're tall, compared to somebody tall.
Yeah, and also like your height is literally like you can't change your height, so there's
No,
no point
it's one of the things you
comparing.
definitely can't
It's
change.
like you're never going to look the same as someone that's shorter because your limbs are longer and everything.
Yeah,
So you're literally not going to get anything from looking at
yeah.
anyone who's
I used
short.
to do similar things and look at shorter bodybuilders and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But yeah, when you finally do fill out, do you know what I mean? It's
you
good.
look wow.
Keep going, man. Keep going.
Top 5 supplements every bodybuilder should take.
I don't know about every bodybuilder, but I think the main ones that I put onto pretty much every client, vitamin C, good multivitamin, psyllium husk generally. What's the other ones? Creatine's got to be in there. I'll just list the ones that I generally put in for everybody because I start with the basics, and then if they need anything tailoring to them, then I go from there.
Yeah,
So generally, I like a good psyllium husking generally year round, but definitely on prep. Not necessarily after being the off season, but definitely on prep. Keep people going to toilet. Vitamin C, multivitamin, a good omega, a proper like DHA, EPA
yeah,
level high, not just oil.
yeah.
Not just oil content, as I always say to people. They always do this, and I'll say it to them when I set them up. I say that's not just oil content; that's the DHA, EPA
Yeah,
content, right? I say it, and then the blood work will come back and like their HDL's like low, and I'm like,
yeah.
can I have a look? How much of you omegas you taking? And it's
It's
always,
all yeah,
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 and I'm
yeah,
like, you need to take 9 of those to get to where you actually need to get. Oh, really? Fucking
yeah.
hell, yeah, yeah. Take these
Yeah.
ones.
I send
Um,
people links now because I was having it with like vitamin D. People were getting it from Boots and it was like 500 IU. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
yeah,
do
you
that
take
as
it.
well, Leah. I do that as well, and still, yeah, vitamin D is a good one. Obviously, DK2, magnesium,
Yeah,
and then around training, like EA is I want to say it's essential to be honest, even though it's called essential amino acids. You don't necessarily have to have them ones in, but aminos, glutamine, and creatine, and
yeah,
that's kind of the top ones really. And then I think anything after that's generally a little bit more tailored.
yeah. No, mine are the same really. Yeah, nothing more to add. um, okay, started with a new coach, and before asking if I was natty or looking at any blood work, added metformin, Plen, Anavar, T3, and T4 into my off-season plan.
Into the off season.
Dan's just like laughing his head off in the back.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh. So.
And wait for this. Wait for this. This is better. I'm a natural bikini girl.
Well, not anymore.
Is
Well,
it not anymore? Is this a red flag or a misunderstanding?
yeah,
I mean, it's a very big misunderstanding if it's a misunderstanding.
yeah, that's fucking insane. Like, it seems like I don't want to sound like I'm slagging people off or anything, but it just seems like because I get these calls as well,
Yeah,
and they say they just put me on this, bum, and it's always just the same stuff. Like same things:
yeah,
T3,
yeah,
T4, metformin. They've asked if Anavar, Primo, whatever, and I'm like, it's like they've just got a little list of this is what we give women, so they just give
yeah.
them all of it. Yeah,
And that's quite a big list, isn't it? To just put someone on from the get go, like all in one go.
that's that's my full list of arsenal that I would ever use on anybody
Straight
at
away.
any point, which is usually at the maximum point of a prep.
Yeah.
Um, why put someone in?
Why are they on Clen in off season? That's what I want to know.
Well, they went. This was a bit of a thing for a bit where because obviously there's a little bit of an anabolic effect to clenbuterol. People would put people people were putting clients on Clen like year round,
Right.
right, which is known for being bad for your heart.
Yeah.
Putting it on Clen year round because that's better than using steroid, which
Hmm.
there's an argument for that, and getting some general effects of anabolism throughout the year. But for me, it's a fucking no. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
Um,
risk.
anything that can potentially cause problems to the heart, like using a bit of Clen on prep, fair enough. Using it short and sweet, it's done. You're
Yeah.
not doing prep for another year or two after that. Sound for me, running it year round is not something that I'd want to be doing for
Yeah.
people. It seemed to come about a bit, and I don't know if it's obviously it hadn't completely died off, but these are these trends. What I go back to talking about people just
Yeah.
jump on like a little thing and then fucking flog it, putting people on thyroid year round. Why?
Mm.
Why would somebody need? T3 and T4 at 25 over 100 year round. I don't understand why that would be.
Yeah.
The go-to dose of T3 seems to be 25 micrograms for people. That doesn't necessarily sit everyone into a natural range either. Most females that sometimes will sit above the top end of the range. Sometimes if people are needing some therapeutic dose of T3 throughout the year, I'll put them on 12.5 and then blood test them, and it sits them bang in the middle of T3 range. So 25 is not necessarily the gospel. Do you know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
that's because they're smaller than males or whatever. But that's how it's coming up on the blood work. That's all I can really go off, to be
Yeah,
honest.
definitely.
Um, and yeah, to be honest, yeah, it's a red flag.
Yeah.
You don't want to be getting shoved straight on all of that, especially in an off season. What the fuck?
Yeah. And also you'd think, well, you'd like to think that you'd have that conversation with the client when you're bringing them in to be like, you know, are you natural? Are you assisted? Do you want to go assisted? Like, is that
Yeah,
something that
I
you
think
have an interest in?
yeah, at the very most, if I ever do ask anyone, which I don't even really ask them, I just let them ask me usually.
Yeah.
Is like, is it something you're wanting to do? If it is, let me know. I can give you information on it. I'm not telling you to do it, but I also don't want to keep you in
Yeah.
the dark. These are the kind of things that I'll know. Because what I have had is I've said no, and then people get to sometimes the end of preps or whatever, and they go, they were taking this, this, and that because they
Yeah.
don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were taking this, this, and that, and I'm like, yeah, yeah. And they're like, why didn't I take that? Well, you didn't mention that. Well, you didn't
Yeah.
tell me about that. And I'm like, so I've been in trouble for not bringing it up
Yeah.
after people's prep. So sometimes I'll just kind of say, look, if you wanted to do it, let me know. If you want more information, let me know. These are your options. If
Yeah.
you need any, and just this sort of general thing, and then they'll either say, oh yeah, maybe, or no, or whatever, and then
Yeah. 100%.
kind of go from there. But I don't want to be like leading people down that path when they
Yeah.
might not necessarily have been thinking about that. Do you
Well,
know
I
what I
feel
mean?
like a lot of coaches probably do that, and they're like, "Oh, you should go assisted. You'd look better." Blah 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 blah.
Well, they would look better, but that's the choice for them to make, isn't it? Not us. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, 100%. I agree. Okay, if someone wanted to compete but you thought they would never be able to be competitive, would you tell them, or is it possible for everyone provided they train for long enough?
It's not possible for everyone, no, unfortunately. I'd say it's possible for. It's hard for me to say because I think the people that I get coming to me are already people that are in the position to
Yeah,
get in on that way. So I don't. I suppose I don't deal with as broad a range
yeah,
as
100%.
of people. So sometimes I'll get people coming along, and then they just don't. You just see some bodies that I just feel sorry for them, and they're
Yeah,
just like they do everything what everybody else does, and fucking nothing happens. They
yeah,
don't
very
really grow
strange.
any muscle. They try and diet, and the body fat don't really come off very fast. And I see them on Instagram, and they're training like fuck. So I know they're training, and I just they just don't. The genetics just don't really lean in them directions very well. For
Yeah,
me, it's really rare that I get them people because, like I said, they don't come to me to start with.
yeah.
But I have had some people in the past where I've done that, and it's to be honest, it's only been a real few people. But I've just kind of said, look, do a photo shoot.
Mm.
I don't know if competing is going to be for you. I don't think getting in the competitive arena with what we're able to bring is going. It's not. I fucking hate having it's a horrible
It
conversation
is
to have.
hard because obviously, if someone's got that goal
And
and they
the
want to do it, it's
and
like
the
you feel like you're shooting them down a bit.
yeah, it's fucking yeah. I hate having to do it, but
Yeah.
you can't just let people get on stage looking like a bag of sticks either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like I've had a couple of clients where they've said, like, I know I'm not going to be competitive. I just want to do it because I want to go through the process and I want to like prove myself that I can like get, like, I can like push myself to that level.
Yeah, in that instance, that's fine. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? And like, as long as and the question is if they can get on stage at all, I suppose, not if they can get on stage and look good.
yeah,
So I have them same people sometimes that would say, look, it's just a personal goal.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not expecting to be Miss Olympia. I just want to be able to get up there and do it and tick a box. And yeah, that's fine. As long as we can get, as long as you have some muscle on you and we can get in stage condition, fine. But I'm not going to let you get up if you're not in stage condition.
Yeah. I do think like some people's bodies just don't respond
Of course, some
great.
not everyone can throw a basketball hoop, not everyone can kick a football, not everyone can run a race, not everyone can grow muscle and get lean and get on stage and paint themselves brown and turn around in circles. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not.
Everyone in
It's
circles.
just can't.
We've still got 6 questions left.
Come on then, rattle them off.
Sugar-free sauces. I feel like 10 to
Bum.
15 grams per meal, sugar-free coffee syrup on prep, advice.
Don't do it. A load of
Yeah.
shit. Fuck knows what's in them, but it's not
It'll
meant
mess
to
up
be
your digestion.
not meant to be inside your body. Wrecks your digestion. Sometimes people, when really abuse them, they walk around with little pot bellies, and it takes
Mm.
fucking another 12 months to get rid of it. Would not advise at all. If you're going to use some sauces, use proper sauce. Put it in from the beginning of your diet, i.e., ketchup or mayonnaise or salad cream or whatever you want on your food. Choose the lower calorie options. All right, so they're reduced. 15 grams a meal is plenty. If you want to do that 3 meals a day when you've got your meat and veg and
Yeah.
taters and all the rest of it, do that. Make sure it's in your off season. Make sure it's in at the beginning of your prep so it's accounted for with your baseline. So then when you reduce from that point,
Yeah.
it always stays the same. And then if you really need to pull it out, if we're really desperate, I don't know if I've ever had to do it for anybody. If we're really desperate, we'll fucking pull that out. But don't not have it in and then start adding it in halfway through the prep
Yeah.
and cutting all your food in it because you're adding calories to your food. Them other completely calorie free
Like
ketchups
skinny
and
syrups.
whatever the fuck they're
Yeah.
meant to
You
be,
know
I
what? I
don't
actually
know.
used to be really bad for those when I was like first getting into training. I went through a phase where I was like smashing loads of them, and honestly,
Yeah,
it was like they're disgusting anyway. But it used to really like mess up my stomach a lot.
yeah, they destroy people's stomachs. I
Yeah.
don't. Do you know what? I've never had one. I've never even tried it. I just look at it and I think, what the fuck is that? I'm not putting
Yeah,
that.
you're not missing out.
No, the nearest thing I've probably had to that is when you have when you're in Costa or Starbucks or whatever, and
Yeah.
they say, "Oh, do you want a caramel shot?" And I've said, "Oh yeah, all right then," and a sugar-free one or calorie-free, whatever, and they put it in, and I'm like, "You've just made my coffee taste like chemicals."
Yeah, you know what? I do normally use sugar free, the French vanilla syrup in my coffee, and I have like a little bit in the morning, but I can't have like
The
some
full
people
thing.
like Will just literally puts like so much syrup in it, and you can't even taste the coffee, and I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
so that's your answer for that. If
how
you want
much
to
weight?
destroy your digestion, then
Oh,
fire
sorry,
crack on.
I was pushing
That's
the
all right. It's because I was
already.
half yawning. Right, let's go, Bumroll.
Thanks. How much
This one's
weight?
going to be called Bumroll.
I'm gonna call that episode
This
Bumroll.
episode's called Bumroll.
Right.
We've just decided.
Q&A Bumroll. How much weight per week in prep should you lose? When should prep ease off and dig? Is wait, there's like three questions here. Let's do the first question. How much
Right.
weight per week in prep should you lose?
It depends how much you've got to come off. If you've set up um,
Well,
well for the right amount of body fat to come off, it is nice to see between 0.5 and a kilo is always nice, I think. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit less, sometimes it might be a little bit more.
yeah,
Anywhere in that region is kind of a sweet spot, and as long as obviously that's getting you ready on time.
yeah,
If you're losing more than a kilo a week, I said this to you earlier when I was talking about something we was on about tonight. That's all right with me, as long as as long as we're not fucking killing you to get
yeah.
it. Do you know what I mean?
It's just coming
Like
off like
if
without
it's
having to.
just falling off
Yeah,
and we're not having to push for it, that's great. I'm fine with that. If you're having to kill yourself to get fucking a kilo and a half a week, do you know what I mean? That's not ideal at
yeah,
all. Um, and if it's going too much slower, I've got some clients that they don't carry much body fat even in the off season, and they'll lose 0.3s through the prep, which is not even a pound.
yeah,
But we get there in time how we need to be. So it's whatever you need to do, and whatever you need to do for it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. It
And
just
depending on
depends,
the
and I think
client,
yeah, it depends. And I also think I don't know if you see this, but in a lot of girls, like the first few weeks, it kind of trickles off. You get point 0.3, point 0.4, point 0.2, and then all of a sudden, like four or
boom,
five
boom, boom.
weeks in, they'll start knocking off like a kilo plus a week.
Yeah, it's like the body goes,
Yeah,
okay. But to be fair, if you track the measurements as well, which
yeah,
I'm assuming you do, I always do, I track measurements on prep. But for that reason, you'll see like the centimeters are flying down.
yeah,
So even though I think the body's slightly recomping a bit and maybe just getting used to a clean food and like whatever it's doing, it does it in it. And then it comes the whoosh, doesn't it? So
yeah,
you get a few weeks in and it just starts whooshing.
yeah,
I think it just takes a little bit for the body to sensitize and become efficient at fat burning. Sometimes realize what you want it to do, and then it just starts going
yeah,
like you say. It's quite common that, to be fair.
yeah. I agree. Okay. When should prep ease off and dig? Again, I think that's very like
When should it ease off
specific.
and dig? Well, I mean, you dig when you need to dig. I mean, you need to be easing off that last week before the show
Yeah,
at a minimum. If you're going to be ready even earlier than that, 2 or 3 weeks earlier, and you start easing off over the last few weeks, that's not a problem. You don't want to be ready bloody 7 weeks out. Do you know what I mean? If you can
Mm.
help it, and then like trying to maintain them low body fat levels and stay fresh for 7 weeks sometimes a little bit difficult. With some people, I've got clients that can do that quite well, but it's hard, isn't it? Because you're talking about a billion different types of
Yeah,
bodies.
this is the thing. Like some
But
people
just
are gonna have to dig more earlier, and some people you want
yeah,
to be ready early. Obviously, you can ease off a bit earlier. So I think it's very
yeah. I'm not a
like
massive fan of the trend the last few years where it's been like, and I have actually tried it as well a few years ago. The trend where it's like go crazy on the first half of the prep and then not quite as crazy on the second half of the prep. So like I'm assuming they're saying it's so like obviously when you're fresh at the beginning you can
yeah,
do cardio daily, 40 minutes, calories are lower, cleansing and all these things. And I'm assuming that's just getting you to a point where you've got less to lose on the second half of the prep. But I think also like you can only lose as much fat as you can lose in a week.
yeah. And I
Like
also think like the first half of a prep shouldn't really feel that it should be
preppy.
pretty chill.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's how I always play it and that works really well. Like as long
yeah,
as you've
you don't really
planned it
feel like you're on
well.
prep then, do you? You just feel like you kind of just
No.
diet, like
And
yeah,
like, if you're losing 0.7s to a kilos a week, how much more than that
mm,
can you lose by
yeah,
fucking nailing
exactly.
yourself? Do you know what I mean? I think if you find that sweet spot and your calories are in a relatively comfortable place, which are usually somewhere around about maybe 1800 or something like that at the beginning of a prep, then you're doing like 4 cardios a week.
Yeah,
Steps are like 11, 12,000 or something. That's like relatively comfortable levels, really. And if you're dropping off what you need to drop off every week and you're well on track, why kill
yeah,
yourself for it? Do you
I
know what I
agree.
mean?
Yeah,
And then you're like, yeah, then I'll take it easy on the second half of the prep. But then the fat's going to be harder to lose on the second half of the prep because you've just gone through. It just doesn't work that well for me. I
I
don't
also
agree
feel
with
like if
it.
I was going from an off season with like barely any cardio, and you're like, right, here's your 40 minutes a day, I'd be like,
Yeah,
I'm literally so unfit right now. I'm gonna not
I
be able to
know.
do
And it just doesn't take that much to get the fat shifted.
that.
You
Yeah,
can shift the same amount of
yeah,
fat probably with half the work.
yeah, 100%. Last part of that, I think this is meant to say is cardio and training the same until show day.
Uh, right. Training stays the same from the off season throughout the prep. Usually, when I get somewhere between that, it seems to land between 7 and 5 weeks out. I pull the volume back, probably to round about 3/4,
Yeah,
maybe two
so like
thirds.
recovery is okay and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you're only trying to maintain muscle at that point. You're not going to build anything anyway,
Yeah,
and you're going to possibly, if you've had a decent amount of volume in your plans, you're going to end up looking worse for it as you're trying to keep up with obviously keeping the weights up. You could complete the same plan and all your weights drop, but
yeah,
realistically, you want to keep your strength up so you're
yeah,
maintaining the muscle tissue. So pulling the volume back by 25%, maybe 30%, whatever, just so you've got enough to go in and fucking nail the bastard.
yeah. So you can
Um,
keep your quality of your training up.
Keep your quality of your training up, keep your strength up, and you've not got as much to mentally get through as well
Yeah,
in the session, which is the killer. That's usually what will happen between that kind of 5, 6 week out mark, whatever it might be. Final week before the show, keep your training as it is, but 2 to 3 reps in reserve. But reps higher, like just 10 to 15 pumpy reps, really. And then obviously I jiggle the training days around so you're not like doing a leg day before the show or anything
yeah,
like that. Keep the
100%.
leg days earlier in the week. Cardio wants to be fucked off by a week out. You shouldn't be really doing that anytime within the last 7 days. That's it for broad
Yeah,
stroke rules.
yeah, and obviously most people your cardio is gonna come up if needed through the prep as well.
Yeah. You'll start with some and
Yeah.
then end up doing more.
Okay.
Probably.
Thoughts on fake? I've never actually seen this to be fair, but let me know what you think. Thoughts on fake natty athletes using oils and fillers, but passing off as a natural bodybuilder and coach to other women.
And what? Coach to other women?
Yeah, I've not seen anyone using that I know using
They're
oils and fillers.
obviously talking about somebody specifically. If they're
Yeah.
saying coach to other women, I would think.
Cool.
Fuck knows. I don't know anything about that to be honest. I've never bothered with any of that. It's like Mediform and stuff that they use in it, where it's like a water injectable, sight enhancement type thing. It's not something I've ever used myself or used with any athletes either. To be fair,
Does one need to eat on show day? Should it be minimal volume? Does one need to eat on show day? Should it be minimal
She's
volume?
old English. Does one need to eat?
I like that.
Yeah,
Might
rate
start
that.
doing that.
Yeah, I might do that myself. Does one need to do cardio today? Does one need to take this much clenbuterol? I'm shaking like crazy.
I like that. That's good.
What was the question? I forgot now. Does one what?
You got two
Oh
straight
yeah,
away.
need to eat on show day.
Yeah. Should it be minimal volume?
Yeah. I mean, I usually do a decent-ish size breakfast with a good bit of water, usually half a litre water at
Yeah.
least. And then it's kind of minimal bits through that. So like, we'll do a little bit of chicken, but maybe just like 40, 50 gram or something. Sort of fuck all, bit of chocolate, something with it. And then usually a little bit more, a few hours before the stage. But again, just like,
Yeah. You don't want
do
to
you
get
know
on
what I
stage with like
mean?
a full stomach of water.
No, little bit of
Knock it
like
out.
jasmine rice or sticky rice or
Yeah.
something like that a few hours before competing. Then after that, it's just like bits of banana, bits of dark
Yeah.
chocolate. Banana's a good one for me. I love banana, as everyone
Yeah,
knows.
you do. I
As
really like
everybody knows, my father gets stuffed to death with bananas. But
yeah.
realistically, it's a food and a drink at the same time because because it's got water in.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? You don't. Well, the thing is, you don't really need much fluid to digest it.
Yeah.
It digests well on its own. Potassium in there, a good carbohydrates as well. I think 50% of it's glucose in a banana of the carbs that you get in there. And then obviously topped with a bit of dark chocolate and whatnot. It's perfect storm, really.
Not going to sit on your stomach very heavy.
Goes through your stomach nice and easily without having to need loads of water with it. Do you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
it's just easy. So once everything's in there leading into the show, it's a bit of a decent sized breakfast. Nibbles through the day. A little at that point, you're just making sure you have enough in your system to keep your blood sugar up so you can get a pump.
Yeah, and
Really,
also
you
getting
shouldn't be
enough like
carving up on show
water
day.
and stuff in so
Yeah,
you can get a pump
I
as
keep
well.
water in. I think usually what if you do 500, 200, usually probably a litre of water before people get on stage, depending on
Yeah.
what they drink on the prep. Most people drink 4 or 5 litres on prep
Yeah.
throughout the day. So if I've got in there 700 to a litre before they get on stage, it's enough to keep them tight, but you want to be able to get a sick pump, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think I do my show day stuff similar to what you do because obviously
Yeah.
I've prepped with you.
Yeah. Some
What?
people do mad shit, like start eating foods they haven't eaten.
Yeah, which is weird because then I think, how do you know if that's going to be all right in your stomach if you haven't eaten it all the way through your
Like
prep?
the rice cakes and jam thing, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't feed people rice cakes really anyway, but like
I did
that, and
do
then
that with a
like,
client, but she'd had that in all the way through her prep. So
well, yeah, so you know it's all right. But I
yeah,
think then you can't. People just start spooning. They've not had jam. They'll just be like eating it like a yogurt. I just no, just have that. Do you know what I mean? If you're all
yeah,
right, if you want some jam tomorrow, you can have it tomorrow.
have it in your offer.
Yeah,
What age is too old to step on stage as a first timer female? You can do that any age, can't you? Really?
it's about how you look. Yeah, I mean, the bikini classes go to over 45s now.
Yeah.
So there's women getting up there. I've seen some women in their early 50s looking absolutely fantastic. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
It's
think that's quite cool.
fucking unbelievable. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and so they're looking younger to me. I don't know, but they just look phenomenal. Some of them,
Yeah,
I think, how in the fuck are they that age?
yeah. I know it's mad,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah. There was a woman called Pearl. I don't know if you remember her. She competed. I don't know if it was a 23 season or something like that. And I'm sure she was nearly 60 or something. And she looked class. She
That's
looked fucking
amazing.
class. Yeah.
I love that.
So yeah, it's about how you look. If you can get your body looking good enough to get on stage, then crack
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
If you
100%.
can't, then probably don't bother.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
A lot of them look really good. That if they've been training for like a long time and then they just think like, oh, I want to get on stage,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
because they
yeah,
got a lot of
definitely.
muscle. It looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Last question. Are you ready? How many shows can you compete in? Can you keep going for a good 3 to 4 months?
I don't think so. Some people can, and they do all right with it, but I don't think they're ever at the best all the way through. I'll always say that the World Championships with the PCA at the end of the year, after they've done qualifiers, British, betweenies, it's a battle of whose body can hold on the longest and still look all right. Do you know what I mean? I know Summer Man that got there last year for November. Neither of them, two that I can think of in particular, looked at the best. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Natalie, I'll just say who they are because Natalie Crockford,
Yeah.
who won the pro card. Obviously, fantastic. Won the British and everything. Overall, Monique as well. By the time they both got there, the bodies had had enough,
Yeah.
and it was just basically a battle of what we could hold on to at that point.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's hard
and
mentally as well, you know, when you get like, I even struggled going from the British to the Worlds, and I think that was like 5 weeks. And I think, like, you know, when you've like got yourself ready for a show and then you do it, and then you're like
yeah,
mentally going to
five's
like another,
five's long. Yeah, five's
yeah.
really long.
I think like
And
2 3 weeks is a nice time.
2 or 3 weeks is sweet. And look, if you're going, I mean, some of it generally, if you're doing like qualifier, 2 or 3 4 weeks later, finals, maybe a show in between,
Yeah.
or maybe a show after, you pretty much be all right. But then if you try dragging it on and on and
Yeah.
on and on, generally you're not going to look as good. Some people hold on
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's, yeah, all good.
Yeah,
That is all the questions.
bang on an hour. Look at that, 1 hour and
Wow.
36 seconds.
Magical. So what we can do next time, we'll do a like a catch up Q&A holiday chat. You're
Yeah.
gonna fall asleep.
Oh, it's late for me. This 8 o'clock.
Yeah, normally I
Well
stop
late
waking
for me.
about between 7 and past.
Yeah, it's late for me. This. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll catch up next time. We'll get back on in a week or two if you want. Whatever it is,
Yeah,
you let me know.
we're
You're
gonna
the
be back
gaffer.
on to. Why can I not say that word?
2 weeks today.
Yeah, we're gonna get back on the 2 week episodes now. So we get an episode
Yeah,
out every 2 weeks on a Monday.
bi-weekly. Yeah,
Bi-weekly, that was the word. And we're gonna
yeah.
get bi-weekly episodes out every Monday, 6 p.m.
Do you know bi-weekly means two different things?
What does it mean?
So it either means twice a week or every other week.
Interesting.
There's no right answer. Google it. I've had this conversation before.
I don't know
Because
that.
I've said I had a conversation with bi-monthly, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, that's twice a month." Like, no, that's every other month. And I'm like, "Well, it can't be." Google it. There's no. It's the same.
We'll do it every other week.
Didn't know that, did you? Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Alternate weeks we're doing it.
Alternate.
Bi-weekly.
I can't speak. Alternating weeks.
Leah's had enough, which means we're all doomed. So I'm going as well. Goodbye. God
Well,
bless.
this was
Well,
good.
and to everyone who was out there, Bumroll. Bye
Bye.
bye.